The Dollop is going on tour in June 2025. We will be in Sacramento on June 3rd. We'll be in Boise, Idaho on June 4th, Spokane on June 5th, Seattle on June 6th, Portland on June 7th, Bend, Oregon on June 8th, and San Francisco on June 10th. Go to thedolloppodcast.com to get all our tour links for tickets. You're listening to The Dollop! It's an American history podcast where each week I, Dave Anthony, read a story from American history to my
best friend, Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about. Woo! Woo! U.S. Come on. Yeah, go on. Just read the date. We're in. We're already in. It's illegal to backtrack. 3, 2, Dave.
Go.
Ah.
Fuck. January 1904. Year of our Lord. J-Town. That's right. J-Town has a new deck coming out. If you want to get a new deck for your boards.
What?
Skateboards. It's got a new deck coming out.
Leave my personal space
really
now.
Into it.
No, yeah, I'm good. I don't
got
care.
Some proverbs on it.
Good. Alleluia.
Permission to treat the co-host as hostile?
Permission denied.
Permission granted. I got it. Thank you very much.
The mic just stuck to my other mic. Look at that. I got a double
that's
mic.
fucking
This is how I'm going to start doing these from now on. You know, Dave, it's so crazy because the way it used to be is vastly different. But sometimes there's some similarities.
That's insane. That's a strong-ass magnet that we have there on our, yeah.
Still recording.
Teddy Roosevelt was in the
shit.
White House with friends.
Bears.
And he was discussing hunting, which I'm sure
They would
happened
probably
95% of the time when he's in the White House.
Yeah. Teddy signed the bill. You know, pheasants are faster than you'd think.
I don't.
I have. I'm also slow.
He was discussing hunting when one said, quote, Mr. President, I know a man down in Oklahoma Territory who hunts and catches wolves with his hands.
Oh, fuck. This is...
I'm speaking of none other than Catch 'em Alive Jack Abernathy.
Well, okay. Saying that to him, that would be like saying to Trump, there's a glory hole in the Lincoln bedroom, or saying to Biden, there's a pudding room. Or saying to Obama, Friends is on.
Gareth. Gareth.
Tea. Everywhere.
So, Teddy then told his friend to set up a hunt with Catch 'em Alive Jack Abernathy.
Oh, my God. He's catching wolves?
With his hands.
I'm aware of... Fuck me. I feel like wolves could outrun him, so there has to be another...
We didn't say he chased them and caught them. I didn't say he could outrun a wolf. I just said he'd catch it with his hands.
So what, he shoots it and then grabs it?
No, I didn't say that either.
You know, if you have a gun, it's technically using your hands.
It's not a gun. No weapons of any kind.
This is one of those riddles where it's like the guy wakes up in the hospital and, you know, it's like he's got an empty backpack. And everyone's like, how did he fall so far? And it's like, parachute fell out. But we're in the part where it's like the backpack's empty and he's on the gurney. You're trying to trick us. No. You're trying to trick us, and it's working.
Does anybody know what's happening right now?
We all do. You know, Dave.
Jack would catch wolves and sell them to zoos. He had started working on a cattle ranch when he was 7, riding with cowboys at 11. And at 15, a wolf attacked his dog, and he fought it off with his bare hands.
So he's punching him.
And that is how he learned to catch wolves with his bare hands.
So what, he's throwing dogs in front of him and then just... Lure, come here, boy.
So a hunt was set up with the president in April 1905 at the Big Pasture in Comanche Land. Jack was friendly with many Native Americans. Oh, I'm going to say the name wrong.
They call them catches with wolves. These are not great jokes, but you could do a little more.
But I wonder...
You could help. You could, if you know what, I think a little giggle would go a long way. They'd be like, oh, that was okay.
I feel like you're not listening to the story, and your brain is just going, come up with Indian names.
Yeah, first of all, I am. There's not much to the story so far other than how the fuck did he do it?
I'm going to say his name wrong because I said his name wrong in the whole episode we did on him. Quanah Parker? Quanah?
A room full of white people afraid to correct another white.
You don't know I'm sure there's some 2 or 3 not white people in here. We have a white audience because we're a deeply racist
Over
podcast.
there!
Hello, non-white. How are you?
Correct, Dave.
So Jack and Teddy were early risers. So when they were out on the trip, they spent a lot of time alone together in the mornings, and they became good friends.
He's the sitting president.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the day came, and they spotted a wolf, and Jack took off after it on his white Arabian horse that was named Sam Bass. They chase on the horse, and once close, Jack jumps off the horse and lands on the wolf's back.
Jesus Christ. This is so dangerous. Even if you beat up a wolf because you were rescuing your dog, I still don't think you should be like, I got this. Like, for him to get to this point...
Well, wait. You haven't heard the magic part yet. And then Jack shoves his gloved hand into the wolf's mouth to keep it from closing. He's fisting a wolf. And the wolf's like... No wolf has ever encountered that before.
No.
At no point in his little wolf babyhood is the mama wolf like, don't let him put a fist in your throat. He has no fucking... He's like, not ready for this.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, my God.
He has no defense for that. No defense.
No, he's dying.
So it can't get the fist out, and that's it. Then he just ties the jaws shut, pulls the fist out, catches another the same way a day later after chasing that wolf for 2.5 miles. Teddy, quote, "This beats anything I've ever seen, and I've seen a great deal. When you get your hand free, I want to shake it."
Look, even with what we have going on today, if you saw this, you'd be like, I've never seen anything better than that, but that is unbelievable. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow. Unreal.
So, because he's so awesome at this kind of shit, Teddy appoints Jack as the U.S. Marshal of the Western District of Oklahoma Territory in 1906.
Well, he really knows what he's doing, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the guy knows how to catch a wolf. So
Yep. That's important.
He traveled a lot for the job. Sometimes he would go to D.C., and Jack and his wife, Jessie Pearl, had 6 kids. 4 girls, 2 boys. That's how many kids they had. That's a lot. But then Jessie died of Bright's disease in 1907.
Of Bright's disease?
It's kidney shit.
Oh, okay.
You should have known that because that's happened a lot on this podcast. And every single time you say the same thing. Every time.
Maybe it's time for you to give a really clear answer. I promise to forget it again.
Jack spent a lot of time entertaining his kids with stories of traveling and going out in the wilderness and whatnot. And one day, his boys, Bud... Bud.
Okay.
Named Lewis, but nicknamed Bud. Bud, who was 9, and Temple,
Temple?
who was 5, that's
Sure.
the 5-year-old,
Sure.
decided they wanted to take a journey on their own.
Oh, no.
So in June 1909, they began planning a trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
They're how old again?
5 and 9,
And currently they're living in...
Oklahoma City.
Okay. Well,
We did that drive.
yeah, no. I think we saw Temple on the side of the freeway.
I think we did. They make a map.
They make a map
They drew a map. How else are you going to get there?
from someone else's map.
No, you got to make your own.
A 9 and 5-year-old making a map.
Yes.
You're not going to end up in New Mexico. They made a map. All right. Sure. Keep going.
And they show it to Jack, and he is shocked, but he doesn't dismiss the idea outright.
Right. Good. Well, his wife has just passed away. He's going through a lot of trauma.
Puts his
He's a
fist
wolf
in wolves.
puncher.
Yeah.
So he's...
Quote, boys, this is not an easy ride. I'll tell you what. Let me think about this, and I'll let you know tomorrow.
The oldest one's 9.
I'm going to sleep on it. Because, they're pretty grown up. Mm-hmm. The next day, he wakes up, and he says...
He's
yes.
obviously going to say, yeah. I mean...
Yes, sirree.
What I love is I looked at this one first, and I was like, what does the 9-year-old look like? Only to see the 5-year-old.
So he got them each bank accounts and put $100 in it, and they got checkbooks.
How long are...
Well,
Is
it
this
took us how long? 9 hours to drive?
Yes.
Okay, so they're going to be on horses.
Yeah, I'm still flagging the idea that this is happening a lot.
What are you going to do? Say no to your kid?
Yeah.
Oh. It's
That's
interesting.
exactly what you'd do.
It's interesting
You go,
idea. I guess
boys, listen, I thought about it a lot, but you're 9 and 5, and you'll
Yeah.
die. And I love you. Your mom just died, so no. Maybe in 10 years you guys could go. 1915, that's pretty good. You guys could go do that then. If you don't do this, even if I put money in your bank account, neither of you will be coming back.
So you're just going to stifle their creativity
Yep.
at a young age.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be a parent. I'm going to step in and be like,
I don't know if
"Hey, you
that's
know
being
what?
a parent."
Yeah, you know what? You don't get to go swim with a plugged-in radio. You know, I know it seems like a great idea, but here's the deal. There are actual rules to society and your age.
There was a guy where I grew up who, when he was 16, he wanted to go to Yemen, and his parents were like, great, go and find yourself. And he went to Yemen.
And?
I mean, he ended up in the American Taliban. He's the American
Oh, he's
Taliban
that guy?
But he did find himself, and then later on he went over to Afghanistan and fought
I think best case scenario is these kids end up in the Taliban. I think it falls short of that.
Okay. Yeah. He had them take a test trip. He's not crazy.
Test trip.
He's not
All right, go to
crazy.
Arizona and come back, and then we'll see what you're made of. Look, this is why a mother he needs a second parent. You can't have a wolf puncher being in charge of the purse of the family. Well, let's go ask our dad who hits wolves with the president. Yeah, it's a good idea. You guys should. What took so long? You've been walking for 3 years now. Get going. Christ.
I guess I'm just more of an optimist than you.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. It's a long walk.
So they live in Guthrie. Where's Guthrie? Is it near here? Guthrie? No? Okay. So they take it. So the test trip is from Guthrie to...
I don't know if an audience has ever not wanted to answer a question
I
more.
know.
Why did that pain everyone? People are like, come on.
They're going to go from Guthrie to Tipton and back.
Okay.
Well, no idea where those are, but it's going to take a 4-day trip. So they did it. They did fine. So Jack they come back and he tries to talk them out of going to Santa Fe, but they're pretty set on it.
They're 9 and 5. You don't.
They're pretty set on it.
No, you don't talk about. You go no.
No, then they're like, yes.
Ah, well, shit. I guess I'm outvoted by 2 children. Okay, go. Damn it. Wish your mom was here so I could have a tie.
What are you going to do? So the day that they're going to leave, he said to him, quote, "Don't push your horses." And then he said, "Bud, carry this with you. And above all, both of you say your prayers at night." And he gave them a Bible.
Let's grieve him now.
Bud rode Sam Bass, and Temp was on Geronimo, which was a half Shetland pony.
Jesus Christ.
Now, Gareth, Temp is 5, so that's pretty big.
Well, yeah.
So he couldn't just mount the horse. He would have to climb up on something like a porch or a fence and then get on the horse. And to dismount, he had to do the same thing. But if there isn't anything like a porch or a fence, he would slide down Geronimo's left front leg.
Like when you're, it's not an awe. Don't, what are you, no, it's a no. Oh, that's cute. He's gonna probably die from horse trampling. There's no stump around here? Well, you know what to do. Ride his leg.
It's gonna be fine.
If these fucking kids die, if they die, I'm gonna blame you, even though you're just reading it. You've been pushing it the whole time with your little agenda.
Because they're 2 young kids, people would take them in at night and feed them. People would be like, "Oh, 2 little kids." Because most people at that time would take you in if you stopped by at a house.
Yeah.
They'd feed you. So now it's 2 little kids, so they're like, "Yeah, come on in."
I get that. Yeah, I do get that. But also, tremendous amount of. I mean, there probably are more psychos now, but I mean that is still crazy.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be like, oh, cool, kids.
Oh my God! Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Today the Lord sent me 2 boys.
Is one of them just like on a horse's leg, like?
No, he doesn't ride it like that. He slides down the horse. He doesn't hold on to the leg.
So what does he do if he can't? What is he?
He's
not
not
an idiot.
4.
He's 5. What does he do if he needs to mount the horse and they're in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing like that?
He's got to climb up.
I just honestly don't see how. Okay, all right.
You scale it. You scale the horse.
Sure.
It's half pony.
Oh.
On the second day, it was very hot, so Temp drank a lot of the local water.
Oh God.
Which
what does that even mean? Local water.
Well, the streams, or whatever. It had.
Yeah, it definitely means it's got a problem in it.
It had gypsum in it.
It had gypsum in it?
Which causes diarrhea.
Wait, but it's gold nuggets? Great. Oh, that's good. We'll get him on a horse's leg while he's leaky.
Quote, "Bud forced a big dose of foul-tasting castor oil down my throat. I can't help. I can't help. I know that they were like, castor oil helps everything, but that just greases you up more.
Look, are we drinking it on the regular now? So, you know what I mean? No. RFK's like bringing that back for sure.
Yeah.
You know what? The one thing you got to do is just pound castor oil. Steak and Shake is now serving pure castor oil.
But it only made things worse. Consequently, I had to get down off Geronimo every 2 minutes all day long.
Well, there weren't enough fences for him to get back up, so...
One time, I slid down Geronimo's front leg so fast that I sprained both my ankles. He probably really had to go, I guess.
But which one? Bud is the elder?
Bud is the one who gave him castor oil.
Right, but so he's the older brother.
Temp is the one who has the diarrhea.
Okay, right. So Temp's the younger one, though.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the youngest one has the diarrhea, which is great.
And 2 sprained ankles.
Yep, now, yeah, of course. But who hasn't sprained their ankles from diarrhea? I mean, good Lord. Every time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You're sprinting.
That's the things they say to if you have diarrhea, dehydration, and sprained ankles.
Yep, absolutely. You want that. Yep.
So they kept moving, and then, they came to a desert, nothing but cactus and tumbleweeds.
Oh, good.
That's where we probably saw the guy laying on the ground.
Absolutely, yep.
In Silverton, people had heard about them, and so a crowd gathered to ask them questions when they came into town.
And he still has the shits?
quote, Bud told them about the jip water, which got me pretty riled up. So they he is 9, so they rolled into town, and he tells them the diarrhea story.
Oh, my God, it's
9.
the boys from the... Oh, my God, I can't believe it's the boys. My brother can't stop pooping. He drinks jip water. Oh, come on. Why are you going to tell him about that? That was our secret. Yeah, my horse has poop all over its leg. Yeah, it was mine. And he sprained his ankles because he had to poop so much. Oh, come on. I got a reputation to uphold.
I mean, yeah, I think exactly like that. Yeah.
Imagine being 5 and having, not outside of riding a horse on your own to New Mexico, which is obviously fucking ludicrous, but to have the humility to be like, oh, come on, I'm embarrassed.
Well, you don't want to hear people. No one.
But he's in a different world.
But no one wants. It doesn't matter what time period you're in. Nobody wants to be like, this guy had diarrhea. Nobody wants that.
Do you remember being 5 years old with diarrhea? I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Must have been fucking biblical. Because to remember 5-year-old diarrhea is crazy. In the chapter, the book of my diarrhea, there is not one chapter where it's 5. And if it is, it's like in the middle right before the pictures.
The first chapter is, I'm 5. Here we go.
Sure. All right. Pony up.
So next they ride into New Mexico, and
they're fucking there?
Yeah.
I cannot tell what is happening anymore. We started on a wolf puncher with the president. Now we got these 2 boys. They made it.
So they spent the night in a roofless, abandoned adobe. The next day, scorching hot. Their canteen water was like boiling hot, so it didn't like refresh them. Temp quote, I'd resigned myself to just dying in the desert.
Okay, can we just admit that the dad made an awful decision?
No.
Yes.
They're learning about life.
They should be dead. They absolutely should be dead.
Life is not easy, and they're learning that.
Oh, my God. I mean, what is he not worried? Is he not at home like, boy, that was fucking crazy?
I mean,
Those boys are gone.
I'm sure he's worried, but he's also, busy putting his fist down wolves.
Yeah, I guess he's got a job.
And then Bud saw a buggy in the distance, so they run across a traveling salesman in the middle of the desert. And he gives them water, and he tells them there's a nearby watering hole.
It ain't jip water, is it?
Because this one...
My brother can't have it. I can for some reason, but oh boy.
Goes right through him.
Yeah, he just ends up making jip water himself.
So they go to the water hole, and that night they sleep by the water hole. And they're surrounded by wolves.
This is the time to see if it's nature versus nurture. Let's fucking cook. He just puts his fist in it, and the wolf just swallows him whole.
Oh, no! Temple! Got him!
And they would have to keep stoking the fire, and to do that, Bud would hold the shotgun and shoot it, and then Temp would go grab some wood while the wolves were scared to put on the fire. And sometimes he'd just shoot the shotgun to scare the wolves away.
And then the wolves would come back and be like...
Yeah, but
wow.
That was their night.
Cool. Just normal 5-year-old stuff.
The next day, they rode into Roswell, where once again, everyone was waiting for them. They stayed that night with the newspaper editor. They stayed several days with the newspaper editor. And then when they moved on, they were caught in a storm. And that night, they had to spend the night in a cave. The next day, they get out, and they're heading on their way. And then they see a herd of donkeys, but they're lady donkeys. Oh. And there's one Jack there, and he sees them, and he's like, fuck you, and he chases the boys because he wants to keep them away from his herd of lady donkeys.
Sure. We've all been there.
So the Jack chases Temp, and Temp is getting away, and the Jack is trying to bite him. So they both flee, and then in the escape. They get away from it eventually, but they're lost. They don't know where they are.
Okay.
They're off their drawn map.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's like a map you would find at like a islands restaurant, like a little map for the kids. Like, there's the treasure. I got that with my crayon. They're like looking at that. Like, we're way off course. Where the fuck are we?
Well, they're in Navajo country.
Okay.
We're not really excited about white people.
Oh.
So they're a little scared, and then they realize that the previous day when they were in town, they forgot to buy food.
How the fuck? I know they're 9 and 5. So I'm not trying to youth shame.
Yeah.
But you are also out on your own trying to get to New Mexico on horses alone.
Yeah.
Forgetting food seems stupid.
Well, they didn't forget candy, so that's what they ate that night. You know why, though?
Literally, my dream is happening. I can't tell where I am at anymore.
But that's because they're 9 and 5. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Don't forget all the food groups. I got peppermints, a vegetable.
The next day when they rode into Vaughn, they got their food. And then 2 more days, they were in Santa Fe.
What the fuck?
So they made it.
That's shocking.
Yes.
By the way, they've aged up.
Yeah, I mean, he went through it all.
Yeah. He's got a son with him.
This is my boy, Tim Jr.
The governor was a former Rough Rider who knew their father.
Sure.
And he wires Jack and says, quote, "The kids are here and fat as pigs. Come on out." So Jack gets on a train, and he gets there. He says he's very proud of them.
Yeah, I get being proud of him.
Yeah, especially when he heard about the wolves in the water hole. Like, that's exciting.
Yeah, but without question, child services should be waiting for him at the train station. Where are my boys? Can we talk to you here real quick? You boys are fine, Jack, and that's the good news. Against all odds, they're fine. Huh? Where are they?
That night, they had a little get-together, and the boys sang Not No One. As someone played piano, it had the lyric, "Jesus knows all about our struggles." Temp accidentally pronounced that Shuggles, and everyone laughed. Because he's 5.
He's 5.
He's 5. He's fucking 5 years old.
Oh, his tongue should catch up with his brain. He just rode a horse from Oklahoma.
Where's the exciting thing? They're going to ride back.
I was thinking about that, and that had crossed my mind at some point, that they have to go back.
And
this would be a perfect opportunity for Jack to be like, that was awesome. Boys, it's a lot. I don't think you should do the ride back. Because let me tell you why. Nobody would be telling this story on a show in the future unless it was fucking nuts.
So as they prepared to leave, the governor asked...
How long are they chilling before they
They're
go?
there for like a week or so.
A week? Oh, my God. I went to soccer camp for 2 weeks, and I was like,
I'm in hell. All right, we should get going. I want to get back before I'm 10.
So they're getting ready to leave, and the governor asks if they have a gun. And Bud
what
says...
are you, a cop? You got to tell us if you are. We're not taking bullshit from nobody, mister. My dad will punch through your throat until it comes out your asshole.
damn, chill out, boy.
Sorry. We got tight knapsacks and no room for bullshit in them.
You have to excuse my brother. He's become a bit gruff on the road.
Bud said, yep, shotgun. And the governor asked, would you use it against a man if you had to, Bud?
Hey, can you come here real quick? Do you have kids? Come here. Let me sidebar with you real quick. I'm just making small talk with the boys. Now, if you killed him, would you eat his brain if you had to? What if it tasted real good and I gave you a pot you could cook it in? What if I told you when you eat a man's brain, you know everything he does? Would you find that strange? Would you buy it? What if I said this? I'm gonna come with you, boys. Huh? Huh? Come on. No shirt. I'll just Putin it on a horse the whole way. What do you think, huh?
Bud said, well, Dad told me if someone came at us to draw a bead on him and tell him to stop or else. And what if he didn't stop? He told me to protect Temp and myself, so I guess I pulled the trigger if I had to. And the governor said, that's good, Bud. You shoot that motherfucker. Bud, let's take that bag a step. If you just see a person, I want you to blow his fucking head off.
Holy fuck.
So Jack rode with them to Vegas, and then he hopped on a train. Bye, boys.
I know it's not the Vegas of today. All right, boys, I'll leave you in Vegas. Don't worry, you got this.
So the boys have to go through the mountains, and while they're doing that, they come across a camp of men who are branding cattle in the mountains, as men are prone to do.
This is like a Boyhood Odyssey.
So these guys take in the boys, and they feed them, and they got like a little cabin, and everyone sleeps on the floor.
Cool.
And the next day, they leave, and they're following the Canadian River. American River now. Nice try, Canada.
Yeah. You had a good run, but shut the fuck up. We saw what you did, and we don't care for it.
Not a bit.
A lot of entitlements.
So at some point, the boys see some cowboys following them, but the cowboys are like keeping their distance. And then a sandstorm hits. And they can't see anything. Bud has lost his goggles, so Temp loans him his goggles. So Bud can lead them through the sandstorm.
Look, again.
Go ahead.
Well, it's just, I didn't realize they had goggles. And now it's just a little stranger that there's two complete children with land goggles on.
Do you know why he lost his?
Why?
He's 9.
Yep.
He's 9 years old.
No, absolutely
9.
very valid.
Yeah, 9 years old.
He's a 9-year-old child. Yeah, without question.
Yep.
Yeah, you forget stuff like that.
Yep.
Kids forget a lot of stuff. That's probably why you don't put them on solo missions to go to New Mexico and back. Through the mountains.
Well, I guess I want my boys to grow up weak. I'm Gareth Reynolds. All right.
By the way, if I was a parent, I'd be very inclined to be like, go. All right, summer of me.
So they got to get through the sandstorm. They can't see anything. So Bud puts on the goggles so he can guide them, and he's like holding on to Temp, and they're just kind of stumbling through the storm. And then they just happen to come across a building.
This is fucking crazy.
And it's a livery stable. And so they put the horses in, and then it's a town, and they stay in the town. And the next day when they get up, the sandstorm is cleared, and it's just 3 buildings. That's the town. So they just, I mean, essentially they're alive because
The map is right. I knew there'd be a town here. This is crazy.
So they finally get back to Oklahoma, and Jack meets them outside Oklahoma City, and they all ride in together, and everyone's excited. There's a marching band, a big procession. People are lining the streets, flag waving, fire trucks there. It's ringing its bell. The mayor asks them to speak.
Please. Why don't we start with the 5-year-old? Speech, 5-year-old.
Well, Temp gets on top of the fire truck, and his speech is...
A lot of motherfuckers didn't think we could pull this shit off. So to all my haters, why don't you kiss me where the jip water comes out of? Kapow pow, bing bong. Yeah.
So Temp gets on top of the fire truck, and this is his speech. I love fire trucks.
Boo, this kid's terrible. What? What the fuck is he talking about?
It's because he's 5.
Still, we came all the way. I took off work. New speech.
I also love firemen. Ring, ring. So some people are shocked.
at...
Well, they're horrified that two boys rode a Santa Fe back.
That is so good to hear that there are some people who are like, wait, what are we celebrating?
What's going on? Wait, we're happy about this? We're having a parade for... No.
Yeah.
Arrest that man.
They did it. This is the story of America.
That's crazy.
That one is 5.
I know, that's why you should be arrested.
He just stopped wearing diapers. Isn't that crazy? Here he is giving a speech on a fire truck.
Yeah, so a woman yells...
Hey, Tim.
A woman yells at Temp, asking him where his mother is and how she could allow this. And he's like, quote, "My mother is dead."
Well, this event is not great anymore. Let's all go home and think about how bad we all handled today.
So then the woman hugged Temp, and she then said his dad was crazy.
Stop talking. They made it, didn't they? Was there a third? I feel like there was a third on the jury. Okay, yeah, just the 2. Thank God.
So that night at home, Jack showed the boys a letter that was written with bullet lead on a brown paper sack. Come here, boys. I want to make this experience even fucking crazier.
Just to ensure you're totally damaged.
I'll show you the one written in blood later.
Yeah. Here you go.
So the cattle camp, where the guys were branding the cattle.
Yeah.
They were rustlers. And Jack had recently been in a shootout with them. And so they wrote this on a brown paper sack with bullet lead. Quote, "Don't like one hair on your head, but I do like stuff that is in these kids. We shadowed them through the worst parts of New Mexico to see that they were not harmed by sheep herders, mean men, or animals." And Jack said, "That means that there is good in all men and that most people are willing to lend a hand." So the boys are not home long.
Sure. This is what I thought was going to happen.
What?
They've now gotten the taste. So you can't go back to being like 5 and 9 again.
They love to travel.
You can't go back to school and just be like,
So what did everyone do this summer? Well, my mom and I built a pool, and I was swimming it all summer.
What about you boys?
We fucked America up. If America was a wolf, we put our fists in it.
What? Yeah, they can't go back to normal life now.
Well, they asked their dad if they can ride to New York City.
New York City?
It's not a crazy ask.
Yes, it is.
Because
no, Dave.
It's
no,
not.
Dave.
There's...
Dave. You're in too deep, buddy. Dave. This is called deprogramming, and you need it. It is a crazy ask.
No, because...
They are 9 and 5, my bud.
There's a reason.
Buddy, I'm trying to help you here.
There's a reason.
Because they are damaged beyond repair.
Teddy...
Their father has failed them. The mother is not in the picture.
Teddy is, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, honestly, the way you were looking there, Dave, that's me. Thank you very much. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
What's your name again? Sorry. Roscoe's
Thank
a
you,
comedian
Roscoe.
here. You should come and see him. He's very funny.
And then for those of you who paid for the meet and greet, Roscoe's going to beat Luke up after the show. So that could be, yeah. Someone's going to put the fist in the wolf tonight. Just liquid death shoots out of Luke. Oh! Roscoe just shotgunned Luke. All right, it's not crazy because...
Teddy is on a safari in Africa, and he's coming back after... Because when he did safaris in Africa, they were like a year. So he's coming back.
While he's the president.
He's not the president anymore.
He's
off.
done.
He's off president.
Okay.
And Jack had planned to be there to meet because everyone's. It's like a big thing. He's coming back. He's going to come into New York.
Sure.
Everyone, there's going to be a big parade for them.
There better be a detail in here that makes the kids going there alone not crazy, because we haven't heard it yet.
And so what a better idea than to have the kids there?
No. You got...
And they've proven they can make it to Santa. They're fine.
By the way, your line of thinking is like as good as a 5-year-old's map of the country. How you got there, that doesn't make any difference.
I let Finn take one of those kid Ubers once because he had to get somewhere.
Uber Kid is like the worst thing I've ever heard. Is that fucking real?
It's the same thing as this.
Uber Kid?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I never saw my boy again. Every dad's just Liam Neeson now.
I mean, he was 14 and I made him carry a machete.
All right. There's a reason why we don't use personal lives on this show, and I think you're letting that leak out a little bit. But that's still no reason for them to go on horseback. Are they going horseback?
Made it.
Are they going horseback?
Yeah.
Are they drawing a map again?
Well, of course they are. How else are they going to get there?
Are they still 9 and 5?
They're still 9. I think he might be 6 when they start, but probably
He's getting
5.
younger? Oh, no. The 5-year-old. Okay. I thought maybe he went through some sort of wormhole on the journey or something like that. Okay.
No, he might be 5 still.
Okay, all right. Yeah, by the way, that's not the one who I was hoping had a birthday. 10, once we hit double digits, there's maybe a modicum of that makes a little more sense. The one is 6.
So
6 isn't terrible just because 5...
Well, 6 traveling age.
No, it isn't. Nowhere has that been established by
That's
any
when
metric.
6 is the year when they're like, time to hit the road.
Well, 6, it's your travel birthday.
We'll see you when you're 8.
All right, go to Winnipeg. Bye-bye.
It's like the Amish when you get older and they go out and do your year of...
It's your Rumspringer.
It's your Rumspringer, except that in this case, a 6-year-old boy.
Absolutely.
I tried methamphetamine on my journey. What? I was on a Rumspringer.
So they harass Jack. They really got to work. Like it's like when The Simpsons when they're like, can I get a what is it? Can I get a? They keep asking him for. Can we go, Dad? Can we? They want to go somewhere.
Are we there yet?
No, they're asking if they can go somewhere. Like, can we go there? Can we go? And he was like, yes, okay, you can. So it's a 2,000-mile journey. If you're Australian, that's 3,200 kilometers.
Okay.
And they're going to go by themselves, as they should.
Now, let me tell you, when we drive a lot, and let me tell you, when you enter the address in Waze and you see 2,000 miles, you go, oh, fuck, this is going to suck.
Oh, my God.
And that's driving.
You know what I usually think, though?
No, don't. No, you don't.
Oh, I wish I was 5. Anytime that comes
You
up.
could just ride horses there. I wish I was 5.
Wish I was 5 and on a half pony.
Without Waze. Well, we're completely lost. I don't know where we are at all here. We are nowhere near New York. We're going to die out here.
It is true. I guess at this point there's probably roads and paths. So
But to draw, it's incredible.
Not that hard, because there's not a lot of places, so you just do a line.
That's not great news that there's not a lot. You're saying that's a benefit.
So you're me, and they're like, I'm 6, and you're like, you're gonna go from Oklahoma City to New York City. Then I just
statement.
Oklahoma City here, and I go whoop, and then New York.
And Jack just looks at that and he's like, boy, you guys have really done your homework. That is exactly where you're going. And that's where we are. Holy shit. We got a little Lewis and a baby Clark.
Daddy, I drank more chip water last night.
Well, I don't really care. I may as well have a ghost dad at this point. Why don't you just drink some gold? Who gives a shit? We had 5 so we could let 2 go.
So for the trip, they get new boots and hats and saddles and blankets. They got bedrolls. They had bacon.
Bacon?
Yep.
Sure.
Road bacon.
Absolutely.
That's what you did back then. So they have to go into Indian territory, which would scare most people. But Jack knew tons of Native Americans because he is the guy who puts his fist down wolves' throats.
Sure. That's really coming in handy.
And so they stop at Quanah Parker's house first. and they're treated like celebrities. Everybody loves them. They go to Arcadia, and the sheriff is waiting for them, and he's their escort and their guide. In Hominy, they met Deputy Wiley Haynes, who had worked with Jack. So they're meeting.
What is the distance between?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
because it's what happens in your heart.
No, but we're talking tremendous distances in between these places.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sure.
They're just.
I mean, we drove from Oklahoma City to Tulsa.
It's fucking horrendous.
It's like it's an hour and a half for them. It would have been a fucking day, right? Like that's like
eating bacon.
I was more bacon.
Thank God we have 9 pounds of bacon for the journey. I have diarrhea.
Well, this is cured.
Gareth the Dollop is brought to you by Factor.
Hello, Dave.
You got Factor 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well. It's just super easy. Just heat up, eat it. That's it. Couple
Dave,
of minutes.
I can't explain to you how great it was when Luke and I just went driving on a run of shows, and I brought Factor meals with me. And we got to the hotel after the longest drive in the world, and I had the roasted tomato. Roasted tomato.
Yeah.
I say tomato. Feta, cavatappi. I don't even know what cavatappi is. But we were like sitting there, and for like the next day, I was like, that is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was
it's really
so
good.
And the juices. I brought a bunch of the juices with me.
That's weird.
No, it isn't.
I mean, just saying juices is weird. But
Juices
go ahead.
is not a weird thing to say.
Juices is weird when you're in a van.
Call it
Go
juice.
ahead.
They call them juices. You have an issue with the sponsor, so talk to them because they and I are on the same team.
Cavatappi is a type of pasta, kid. Shredded. I had this shredded chicken.
No. If it isn't the juice shamer coming in with the cavatappi angle.
I had a shredded chicken and spinach pesto tortellini thing, which is great. Spinach.
Have you ever seen Michael Cavatappi in vinyl?
Yeah, he's wonderful.
He's unbelievably good.
He's wonderful. So look, Factor is what we're eating now. Factor powers your day. Very good breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, as Gareth is experiencing. Great dinners, guilt-free snacks, desserts, juices, as they say in the van. It's just tasty. It's a tasty meal. And
a little juice for you.
Sweet chefs make it, and you put it in your face. It's everything you can want from food.
Can't say enough good stuff about it.
They got 45 weekly options, so you got a lot of variety to choose from.
Well, last week I ate all 45 meals.
Get started at factormeals.com/dollop50 off and use code dollop50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code dollop50 off at factormeals.com/dollop50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Gareth, we're also brought to you by Hims.
Yes, Dave.
And Hims is not, you're not ordering a dude.
I have to make 5 phone calls. Why don't you do the ad? There's a guy named Jim at my house.
So you got, some guys got ED. It bums them out, and Hims can help you bring back your confidence, back up, as they say. You know what I mean? Basically, Hims helps provide access to treatments, can keep you hard longer, last longer. I know that's a thing for Gareth. So be ready whenever the mood strikes, whenever you can be ready. Now you can be on the go, ready to get up, ready to get at it.
Get going.
It can be uncomfortable. ED can be uncomfortable. Yes. So this is a nice way to do it. You can do it online. It comes in little secret shipping, and you don't have to go into see a doctor and do all that stuff. You just handle it on your own in your own room,
like a professional.
Hims is changing men's healthcare, giving you access to affordable sexual health treatments right from your house, right on your couch, or if you want to do it outside, I guess you could do it on the back lawn.
Do it in your house. Do it in your home.
You can do it at your house. Do it in the home, or you can do it in the bathroom if you want.
Do it in the home.
And what we're saying is anywhere.
Wherever the Wi-Fi
in a van. You can do it in a van on the phone.
Side of the freeway, sure.
100% online. That's what we're saying. You just fill out the intake form on the site. A medical provider will determine the right treatment option, and then if prescribed, it ships directly to you. So for free. No insurance needed. So look, we're recommending it because this isn't a thing you should just sit with.
Yeah.
Take care of it. Be proactive.
Get going.
Get done what you needed to get done so you can get back and
join the club.
Gareth, he's out there in the slam van, as we call it, and he's getting busy.
Go to slamvan.net if you want to see what I'm doing out here.
Yeah.
Let's just say it can only be done in 2 states.
So start your free online visit today at hims.com/dollop. Gareth, the Dollop is also brought to you by Aura Frames. We have Aura Frames, both of us.
Love
I have more than one, is what I'll say.
I say I have more Aura.
That's weird, but
Really?
look, you can get $35 off Aura Frames if you use code Dollop. That is a sweet deal. That's what we're offering to our. Are they our customers too? Yeah, you
No,
guys
they're
are our
not.
customers.
No, they're our listeners.
They're our customers.
No, the way you're
and
approaching that is completely backwards and wrong.
Aura has a great Mother's Day deal,
Yes.
which is coming up very soon, couple
Yes.
of weeks. Exclusive $35 off Carver mat at auraframes.com. Promo code Dollop.
But if someone's like, hey, what the hell is Aura? First of all, language. Second of all, you're now talking about a way to have a ton of pictures in a frame, rotating pictures in your frame. It's way better. It's like a slideshow.
So you want to get the Carver mat? You want to get a sweet deal on that, Gareth? Well,
You're damn right
guess
I
what?
do.
You can get it right now.
Now, when I
off
order
with
it,
Dollop.
since it's a Mother's Day deal, do I have to pretend to be my mother?
I'm so tired of the questions, but
I would love some of these frames.
the deal is April 21st through May 13th, so you can get it through Mother's Day. And then you're going to win. Your mother's going to love you again. I know a lot of people in the van who I'm talking to right now, their mothers stopped loving them, but this will bring back the love.
Yep,
This is how you mend fences. Yep. Give the moms in your life the Aura digital picture frame.
Yes.
Preloaded, decades. You can just hand her a photo album with tons of photos in it and go,
Yeah.
this is how I feel about you.
She'll freak out.
She'll freak out. She'll start crying. It's the best thing you can give her. My mom is always just like, oh, look at this one. I get texts all the time, oh, look at the one where your back's turned again. It's weird.
Texts so much.
Yeah, she texts you a lot, but
It's
you
just
did great
crazy.
things for her. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter. Unlimited storage, and it's just easy to set up. Just plug in. It's really great. I cannot recommend it enough, especially for the moms.
Love them.
Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Dollop. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this guy, Wiley Haynes, he used to be one of Jack's deputies, and while they're there, they go out the next morning, and Geronimo is down.
Geronimo's down. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He's foundered.
He's what?
Foundered.
Oh, no. He's foundered.
forgot
Our worst fears are coming true. When a horse gets
Go ahead
foundered.
and tell everybody what it is.
It's the opposite of lostered.
That's right. That's right. Does anybody, a horse person here, want to tell us what a...
Is anyone a centaur? Dave's asking.
It just goes down, but there's more to it, right? It can't like go anymore. It's like done as a horse. Like it's like when your carburetor blows or whatever. Is that the right thing?
Without question, the hardest that guy's laughed tonight.
That guy knows cars, and his brain just fucking exploded. When your fucking carburetors don't blow, you California, fuck!
You blow my California carburetor.
He's crying.
He's laughing.
He's crying. This guy cannot believe
Sir,
it.
what do you do for work?
Not this.
A crazy answer. All right. I think we know who's shitting their pants tonight. We found our chair shitter. Holy shit.
That's so good.
It just laughed so hard.
Oh, my God.
Trying to be a man. Your carburetor blows out.
He's going to tell his friends for a year. And then this son of a bitch is up on stage. He's talking about a horse founder, and he's like when the carburetor blows, and all his buddies be like, what the fuck? Did you storm out?
This show does sound funny. I listened to an episode, and it wasn't. But that's a good bit.
So it's like when the engine goes out on a car.
Goes out? What the fuck?
Then your horse doesn't work anymore.
He's like, you're closer, but still a fucking moron.
They can recover, often they don't. But basically, he can't do the fucking journey.
Sure.
But he's not dead. Like,
Cool.
they don't, like, put him down.
No,
So
God
they
did.
put him on a train back.
They put him on a train?
Yeah, and he went back to Jack.
What? I mean, I'm all for it, obviously.
They put the horse on a train and sent him back to Oklahoma City.
See, unfortunately, he blew his eardrums with his laugh, so he can't even hear the show anymore. Put it on a train.
Although maybe that's just a lie they told, and they actually just killed him with a bat in a field. I mean, because because you don't want to be like, the story shouldn't be like a 6-year-old beat a horse to death in a field with a bat. So maybe you paint a better picture for the audience.
Sure. Well, it doesn't matter what you were trying to paint, because now you talked about a 6-year-old fist killing a horse.
Oh, he could have ice picked it.
You know exactly what he did. The horse was just like this, and he was like, poof.
Fist in.
And then it was just skeleton guts, and
So
he just threw him on the ground.
he put his fist in the horse and pulled out the horse's skeleton?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're 0 horsepower. I just blew his carburetor out.
Oh, shit. So they paid $85 for a new horse.
Okay. Wow. Don't grieve. All right.
They named him Wiley Haynes after the deputy, because that's where they were.
Sure. Could
Why
get
not?
confusing, but whatever.
And then they got back on the road.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you?
Yep. Get back on the horse again.
In Joplin, Missouri, a reporter interviewed them, and they stayed with the mayor. So they're like big shit now, wherever they go.
Yeah, right,
They're,
yeah.
Like, everyone knows about them.
Yep.
At one point in Union, it's snowing, and Tempest so cold he can't get off his horse and has to be helped down. So it's not all easy like
He
you thought it
froze
would
to his.
be.
I didn't think it was. I'm afraid the children are going to pass away. He froze. He's freezing to death on his horse.
Yes.
What are you saying yes like that for?
Because he's a badass motherfucker.
You look up to a 6-year-old.
He's ready for all. He can handle all the shit you throw at him.
I don't know. Water took him down.
Except a book or whatever, but everything else.
Yeah, he got giardia pretty bad from river water.
In St. Louis, they finally wire Jack, and they say they're okay. So they're full-on celebrities at this point. In St.
Which is
Louis,
also unhealthy. This is all unhealthy.
No, it's great.
But now they're also going from town to town, and people are like, yay!
but isn't that the safest thing for them to
No.
be celebrities?
No.
No, I'm saying for the trip. Or else some guy
The
could
trip
just
shouldn't be
grab them
happening.
and put him in his child dungeon, which is like half of New Jersey.
It's good that people are helping them, but there's none of this is good. This is all unhealthy.
Well, wait till the end.
Oh, Jesus.
So they get a car tour in St. Louis. So it's the first time they've been in a car, and they're just complete. They just love it. They can't get enough of a car.
Oh, I'm glad Geronimo died.
They keep heading east. Now, every town they go to, there are more people waiting to see them. It's just bigger and bigger news. Quote, apparently, folks were fascinated by 2 small boys riding across the country. We didn't understand all the fuss.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got another big tour in Cincinnati.
When do they get a wellness check? Does that happen?
There, they got to spend the night in a fire station. And in the middle of the night, there was a house fire,
Oh,
and
no.
the firemen took them out
No.
to the fire.
Well, sorry, boys. Sometimes we rescue people, but you didn't see that one tonight. That must have been horribly graphic for 2 young boys.
What were they screaming about?
They were trying to get help, and we couldn't get to them.
What did that one lady say at the end?
Well, she was saying all the bad things she did because she felt she was going to see the Lord real soon. Now, what's y'all's favorite flavor of ice cream? Who likes chocolate? Who likes vanilla? We only got 2 now. Oh, shit. Woo.
In Dayton, Ohio, the police chief made them deputies and gave them small billy clubs.
Literally, what is happening? There you are, boys. Would you like to beat a prisoner? We only have one who's pending trial, but we're pretty sure he did it.
I mean, he's not even old enough to wear pants.
It's a pleasure to meet you, officer.
And then he gave him a billy club.
It's crazy.
I mean, they're small billy clubs. Don't get me for the little officer. They also got a tour of the Wright Brothers factory by Wilbur Wright because that's where their factory was. So that's
Jesus
fun.
Christ.
Look at that. So they're getting. This is a great time. They had a little bit of trouble in Dayton because they're trotting on their horses, and a boy runs up beside them, and he keeps swearing at them.
Fuck.
You fucking shit,
You
fucking assholes.
are shitty asshole.
You fucking bitches.
Someone
You
should piss.
Oklahoma fuck shits.
Someone should piss on you fucks. You're assholes. You're dipshits.
And they tell him to stop.
Shut the fuck up. I'll keep doing what I want. First fucking amendment, you little bitch. Shut up, you asshole.
They said they
dickhead.
didn't want.
Hey, dickhead.
They want to fight him. They said they didn't want to fight him.
Oh, fuck you. You fight me. I'll fight you.
And then he called them yellow-bellied.
What? Apparently I don't have the worst mouth, actually. You yellow bellies.
Then he grabbed Tim's boot and tried to pull him from the saddle. Quote,
I've had diarrhea's bigger than you.
quote, I gave him one sharp rap on the head with my billy club and he fell to the ground.
Oh,
You're officially a cop.
Oh, Jesus.
That billy club came in so fucking handy.
And then the boy got up and ran away.
ah.
That moment is just gonna be so awesome.
These things are great.
Boy, this is another memory that'll haunt adult me. What a terrible precedent for me. My brain's still forming a lot.
It's going to be forming for another 20 years.
Yeah. If I make it then.
After 5 weeks, they get to D.C. and they go to the Raleigh Hotel where reporters are waiting. One went up to their room with them while they bathed and changed.
Hey, I got an issue to talk about. Are you gonna want to guess what it is? It's the reporter who talked to them while they were naked bathing. Why, that's awesome, boys.
I'm really doing it in a kind of an in-depth story. You guys okay if I get in the bath with you?
This is actually a podcast called Tubbin' with the Guest.
And
It's
I'm
called-
Uncle Larry, the host.
It's called Bath Time with Bubbles, and my name is Bubbles Johnson. Who are your inspirations, besides your dad?
At some point,
An adult
Temp
says this isn't
asks-
okay?
At some point, Tim asked the reporter for a cigarette.
I am not surprised at all.
Got a smoke? What kind? Yeah, that'll do.
I feel non-filtered. I don't want to do that fucking crap.
You know where we could get some cocaine?
It's DC. Let's get the party going.
These are good cigarettes. I'm gonna have them all.
What do you mean?
Sleep, bitch.
So the reporter says, no, can't have a cigarette. And then Temp says, quote, oh, come on, I never tried one. Let me have a puff.
Well, okay.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Well, you make a good case.
Well, I guess your parents have completely abandoned you. One because she passed away, and the other because he stopped caring. Here you go. Oh, my God.
So he takes one big inhale. Quote, I coughed violently. I was dizzy. My eyes burned, and I thought I might throw up any minute. Completely miserable. I lay on the floor.
Well, that's pretty much my first experience smoking, and I smoked for like 20 years.
5?
I was like 11. First time I had one, I was like, Jesus, never again. All right, I'll do one more.
And then he said he didn't want to go sightseeing with Bud, but Bud's like, well, I'm going. So he got it together.
All right. I'll try.
And then they met Taft.
Then they what?
They met Taft, President Taft. After sightseeing for 3 days.
A bathtub, huh? Why, that's not a bad idea, boys.
President Taft, you're like 40 of me.
I'm going to have you thrown in Guantanamo Bay.
So they go to the White House. They meet in the Oval Office. They talk for a bit. Bud, quote, I asked him how the government was doing.
Stay out of my ass and I'll stay out of yours.
Hey, Taft, got a cigarette? I can't do anything without my coffee and that in the morning.
Taft offered to get them on a cutter to greet Teddy when his ship came into the harbor. And Temp said, quote, that's a bully idea. And then they all laughed. That's
he's doing a Teddy catchphrase.
Teddy.
That's a bully idea.
That's so funny. It's coming from a 5-year-old who rode 1,000 miles across the country. They visited the Senate and House where they were asked to speak. What's the difference? What's the difference? Temp said, quote, I like the Washington Monument. And I like seeing Teddy's African animals and visiting the president. I think this is the finest city in the East. Right? That's drop the mic shit.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't think it's a plan for democracy. What I want to do... Oh.
Just walking around.
So then they ride from D.C. to New York, and that's a very populated area. So it's like one big parade, that whole journey. And people are lining the streets, and they're cheering the whole way, and they're walking beside them, and they're asking them questions. They're pretty overwhelmed because they're 5 and 9.
It's just absolute sensory overload, and it's also super weird for adults to be like, I'm meeting my hero today. He's 5, you fucking loser. Oh, boy. What's it like to be so cool, Temp?
You're like 38.
I know. I have nothing.
Oh.
At 8 p.m., they arrived in Trenton, New Jersey, and a big crowd greeted them.
Oh, my God. It's like if Jipwater became an area.
Jack was there waiting for him at the hotel.
Oh, wow, what a dad. Hey, boys. You've got a baby sister.
The next morning, he went ahead in a car, though, but...
Hey, good to see ya. Good to see you, Tremp and the other one.
In Jersey, people lined the streets cheering, and they took a ferry from Jersey City with their dad. That's nice.
That is nice.
He's there for the glory.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's like, that was great. Where are you boys going to go next? You can't come home. I turned your rooms into a gym and an office.
A huge crowd is waiting for him in New York City. There's 17 mounted police. The police chief escorts them. Cops have to clear a path through the crowd at the hotel, just fucking beating people. Get out of the way, there's a 5-year-old coming through.
There's legends coming, you idiots.
People took souvenirs. They yanked their hair out of the horses' tails, which made the horses jump. Temp got angry and said, quote, "The next one to try it is going to get my quirt."
His quirt?
Quirt? Oh, that's a whip? Yeah, he's going to whip somebody.
Oh, I thought that was the sound it made when he was climbing down the horse.
And then a woman, after he said that, reached up and yanked hair out of Temp's head. Got to get a souvenir.
Yeah, no.
Got to get a souvenir.
She was listening, too. That's cool.
And then a cop grabbed Temp and put him on his shoulders and walked him into the hotel. Temp, once in the hotel, went down to the basement barber and had all his hair cut off.
So what's the deal here? We're just done giving any parenting at this point? It's fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
Whatever.
He got them this far.
I'm gonna get a tattoo. On my Geronimo.
I'm going to get a spider on my face.
I'm gonna get a whole spider on my face.
well, that's a good idea, Temp.
I can't stop you.
Don't get a wolf or I might put my fist through your mouth. We're the best family ever. We're our sisters. You what now? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. I put him on a submarine a year ago. I completely forgot.
The next morning, the lobby of the hotel is packed. Outside, a newspaper boy showed them their picture on the front page, and Bud said, quote, "I'm sick of seeing my picture in the paper."
Oh, so he's fucking jaded?
I'm sick of seeing my face in the paper. Jesus Christ, I can't even get high anymore. Nothing gives me the fix. I'm fully Robert Downey Jr. I can't handle this.
They're over being celebrities. They told their dad that they'd ridden in a car, and they begged him to buy one. Go to the mayor's
Where would you want to drive it?
They go to the mayor's office. There's a ton of reporters waiting for them. They go to a Broadway show, and the singer sings a song about them.
To hear that song.
Oh, God.
Just be the worst.
Oh.
Well, Temp and Bud.
So on the day Teddy arrives, the entire city comes out. They ride with Jack on the cutter to meet his ship. And hundreds of ships are in the harbor. They're blowing their horns and their whistles. One ship does a 21-gun salute, and then another one does a 21-gun salute, and then another one does a 21-gun salute. So it's just
There's
fun.
actually people. There's an enemy flying over. This is.
We're at war!
Get down. We are officially at war. We've been attacked.
Once on land, Teddy gave a speech, and people want him to run for president again, which he does do, but that's why they're all excited. He greets the boys and Jack, and then they ride their horses in the parade right behind Teddy's carriage and right ahead of the Rough Riders.
Jesus Christ.
So the parade is 5 miles long, and there's 1 million people.
Oh, my God. It's insane.
At one point, someone yelled out, "Bully for you, Teddy!" And then thousands of people start yelling, "Bully for you."
How does one person... Nobody was yelling before that? That's a good idea.
Yeah, no one was.
People are just like... Shh. Bully! What a great... Yeah! Bully! This is hilarious!
So the plan is to take the train home.
They can't do that. What are they going to do? Sit there and play checkers? It's crazy.
Well, they got the car bug, and they start begging Jack to buy him a car
Buy them a car?
and let them drive it back.
This is... Okay.
Because
I think I did mention that as a hypothetical lunatic thing to do.
there is no legal driving age as of
Well,
yet.
that's a crazy thing, too. There's no legal driving age? Isn't it insinuated that it would be like 25?
No.
No, obviously not. Because it's like
If you can reach the pedals and the wheel, you're good to go.
But they can't.
You're good to go.
They also can't do that.
Jack says there's no car small enough. Which is a great reason.
I'm just waiting for how they figure out to put him in a car.
So for 2 days, they are looking all over New York for a car that would
So
fit them.
Jack is not like, no, sorry, boys. Tech hasn't caught up with you. He's like, there's no car big enough that we found. We will.
That's right.
We're going to go on Carvana this afternoon and try to figure out what we can get for you.
Well, for two days, they are scouring New York, and every car is too big, and they're all very large. And then they see a kid driving about Bud's age in a very small car. And they run him down.
Get in, shitheads. It's me. It's you from the future.
And it is called a brush automobile.
A brush automobile.
Brush. And it is much cheaper than most cars because it's small.
Mm-hmm. And brush because if your children are in it, there will be a brush with death.
Yes. And he shows them the brush, store. And the next day, Bud test drives it.
Test drives it. So, what are you in town for? Work or pleasure? Just make 4 lefts, and then we'll go back to the dealership.
30 minutes.
Don't blow the carburetor out.
30 minutes. And then he blows the carburetor.
Shut up.
So for 30 minutes, it's the first time he's ever driven. He drives for 30 minutes, and he's like, I got this.
What a test drive.
And then Temp drives for 30 minutes.
Temp is driving? I honestly, look, you have lulled me into the point where Bud driving is, I'm working with it. I'm going, all right, what fucking ever. Let this fucking 9-year-old drive. Temp was never driving. In the version now where I had succumbed to the idea that this was going to happen, Bud is just sitting shotgun the whole time. Or Bud is driving and Temp is sitting shotgun.
That's fair.
And now Temp is like, cool.
Well, you got to be sure, just in case something happens to Bud.
I don't think so. I don't agree with you.
And then Jack buys the car for him.
You know what this is a story about?
The greatest dad ever?
Nope. The worst father of all time.
If you're a kid, this is the greatest dad that's ever existed.
It is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's all that matters.
And then then you're an adult and you start doing therapy. And you go, hey, you know what is better than fucking riding a horse from Oklahoma City to New York with my brother? A hug. Hugs are awesome. A gift. Him teaching me stuff. Learning how to shave.
This is so much better than a hug.
No. Yeah, you says you. That tracks.
So Jack buys himself also a luxury Maxwell E30 touring car. So they're going to drive together. He'll drive behind them, but Jack hired a chauffeur for his car so he could learn how to drive as they went.
Jack hired a chauffeur for the Bud Temp car.
No, for his car.
I can't fucking believe out of the 2 vehicles, there's 2 vehicles going, one with literal children and one with a grown-ass wolf fister. And he's hiring a chauffeur. He's like, you know what? Let's play it safe. Let's get a chauffeur for the trip. You're right. Let the kids figure it out as they go. I mean, no, for my car. The kids will drive theirs. I like to drink a lot of alcohol. So I'll probably get too shit-canned to do any of the pedals and stuff. Plus, I don't really want to learn. Plus, I don't really want to see the kids. So...
Well, with the chauffeur, he can learn as he goes.
The kids are...
No, the kids know. They did it for 30 minutes.
No, they don't. They did it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
well,
they're good to go.
30 minutes.
They're
Fuck.
good. As they drive out of the city, people are waving and calling their names.
Goodbye forever. Goodbye forever. Yeah, bully, bully. I cannot fucking believe. No windshield.
That's what goggles are for.
I can't believe Temp will drive.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if... No, Dad.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if Temp should be driving. He's real little.
Nah, he's all right.
Hey,
He
Dad,
can
are
sit
you
up in this.
drinking?
Yeah, your dad fell in love with a lady named Jen.
A new mom?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, sure. She's your new mom.
Okay,
I make love to her every night.
I'm the chauffeur. What your dad's trying to say is sometimes he has a crazy way of saying he loves you, boys. But
Shut your fucking mouth. You're not here to tell my boys about love. You're here to drive. Just shut up.
he's so glad you two are becoming best friends.
I will put my fist down your fucking mouth. All the way
Sometimes
into
to get to someone's heart, you have to go a circuitous route. And you boys can draw a map for everything, but you probably can't figure out how to drive of yourself to your souls and figure out who you are. But guess what? If there's one thing we've learned, it's that love conquers all. And maybe your dad can't say it to you because he's drank so much gin. He just is drinking gin all day. But he loves you boys. And he's so
I'm just trying to make sure you're not gay.
No matter what you feel or believe, that's okay with your dad. When your mom died, your parents both left that day.
Who are you?
I'm the president of the United States of America.
Hey, bully! So, the first night they stop at a hotel, and Temp is for some reason in the Maxwell with his dad, and as they're stopping, he gets out before the car stops.
He rolls out.
He doesn't realize the car needs to stop, so he gets out.
He's a child.
And then
driving.
And then Bud runs over him because Bud's in the car behind. Not hurt though because they're high. Look how high it is. So he just kind of like it's a cartoon. He just gets knocked down and then looks at the car going over him. And then afterwards, Jack lectured him and said, "You can't get out of the car before it stops."
What are you, 6? What are you, literally a child? How many times do I have to tell you grown adults?
And Temp later said, quote, "It was a dumb thing for me to do."
I fucked up.
So they drive across New York to Buffalo and then to Cleveland, and they wore goggles on dusty roads. In Plainsville, Ohio, tons of people come out to see him. More people than, quote, the last fire in town.
You have got to love the metrics of that city. You know, more people came out for joy than tragedy this last week.
Every time they went through, people came out. Temp drove sometimes. Now, Temp drove even though his legs barely reached the pedals.
That's fine. You don't need to be able to have those in your control.
Right. They drove through Michigan and Illinois and Iowa, and in Missouri, the Maxwell caught on fire. And
hold on. Of
What?
all the things, okay, a fire.
Yeah, the car is on fire.
Do you think this will stop these two little Terminators?
Well, it's not. They're in the other car, so no, it won't. That's their dad's car.
Well, look, their dad's been dead for a while now. Reality's just catching up with the emotional security.
I'm just letting you drive across the country so I can feel something.
Boy, he went right up.
Well, he was full of gin.
So the dad and the chauffeur put it out using sand. It still drives, so on they went. Even though it was, quote, practically ruined. So they're driving. It's the car from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, they're just driving a Firebird.
As they neared Oklahoma City, 20 cars came out to greet them and escorted them in. And people packed the sidewalks and streets, and family and friends.
It's just the amount. We've covered this so many times. The shit that got you out of your house to go greet. It's just like literally anything happening. You're like, we gotta get on each side of the street and enjoy this. This is the biggest shit we'll see for the month.
So family and friends are waiting at a hotel for a luncheon. They had driven 23 days, 2,512 miles.
That just tells me how long they were riding the horses before.
I know, right?
Yeah, they've just been on the road so much.
Forever. They're invited a ton of places to give speeches.
But okay, you cannot. This fame shit, this is like, I thought this was more of a recent trend where it's like, bring an influencer to give a speech. And it's like, yeah, they got nothing to say.
No, they do, because Jack got them speaking lessons. Stage dad. The Brush Car Company.
Oh, they were like, great. Brush car, only for kids.
They paid for them to go to a car show in New York and sit in a booth and talk about the car. Do you know how much Teddy Roosevelt loved this? He was just like,
oh, yeah.
bully.
Bully, bully, bully.
Like, we are raising men.
This is the best country.
Jack brought the two horses to New York on a train. They had been offered parts in movies. And
Who, the horses?
No, the boys and
So
the
why is
horses
he,
on
and
the
horse?
horses.
You can't get two fucking stand-in horses?
No, we got to have the actual horses.
We want to book your actual horses. They're SAG-AFTRA eligible, correct?
Yes.
Well, we'll Taft-Hartley him. He's standing right here. Consider it signed. That's an industry. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it. So then Jack gets into films, and he hired a cameraman and a director and a writer, and they did a reenactment of the journey. They also did a movie about Jack's wolf hunts. So Jack's getting into showbiz a little bit.
Sure. Our next film's called Avatar.
And then in July, they were offered the gig of riding an elephant and a donkey to Washington, D.C.
All right, Dave. David. I've never done this, but I'm going to have to ask you to stop. That'll be, pig. That'll be enough, pig. That'll do, pig. Dave, and I'm not kidding, this has to be the last one. Because I can't hear there can't be anything after this. There just simply can't be. They're already human cartoons.
Well, it's an elephant and a donkey because that's the Democrats and Republicans.
Right.
It's a race to predict who's going to win the election, and people fucking love it. Like, what an amazing idea. There are no pictures of this. I could not find a picture.
Well, you know why? Because both just meandered in useless directions and didn't get anywhere. They just walked around sniffing each other's asses forever.
Now, weirdly enough, elephants aren't made to ride hundreds of miles. So when they got to Philly, the elephant's feet were too sore, and the Humane Society made them stop.
That is, out of everything, that might be the craziest thing in this story. The Humane Society existed and stopped them.
Yeah. So now the owners of Luna Park, which is an amusement park, issued a challenge.
Ride the elephant all the way.
For the boys to ride horses to San Francisco in 60 days.
Why are you putting a time? We have forgotten their ages.
And if they made it in 60 days, they would get $10,000.
It's so fucked up. What is Jack? Where's Jack?
They could take Sundays off.
Sundays are off. Okay.
And they
good.
could never eat or sleep under a roof.
I can't believe the last rule. We're trying to kill him. We don't want to give him the money. These kids better die. We don't have the 10 grand. We do not have it. We are rooting for these children to pass away. No food, period. How about that? No food, just water from that river that gave him the squirts.
And they can only change horses once. So
If your horse dies twice, you die with it. Do you understand, boys?
So they agreed
Have
to
you
it.
seen Squid Game?
This is Squid Kid.
This is Squirt Game.
So they agree. And
Yeah, we'll take the deal.
well, it's,
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, fuck. I'll write alimony checks for the next 2 months. Get ahead of those.
I guess it's more Jack agreed to it, right?
What?
I guess Jack is the one who agreed to it, but whatever. I mean, they had to say yes, but Jack is the guy who has to legally agree. Like,
I don't think law is entering the conversation anymore anywhere. They just had to get off of an elephant because of its feet hurting. Remember that?
yeah.
Yep.
So thousands watch them leave. This is a big deal.
Goodbye forever.
Remember, no roofs.
So they have to travel 60 miles a day to make it.
Shocking.
And this time they took better care of the horses. They would go to a blacksmith every night and get the horseshoes checked out.
You boys want to stay inside?
No, sir. We're about to make 10 grand for our crazy dad.
Now Wiley, the horse,
Yeah, the horse.
he slept on his back with his legs up.
Why not? Yep, at this point, why not?
At a store in Toledo, they had a table with a meal waiting for them on the street because they couldn't eat inside. So
A table on a mule.
So these people put a table on the street, and then a crowd stood around and watched them eat.
Look at him eat. He chews just like us.
Do you need me to cut that for you?
No.
Jack would meet them in 3 cities across the country. He's driving.
He's a good dad.
They would sleep in haystacks to keep warm.
This is actual punishment. If the only reason we can laugh is because of the time. We know that this is over. If this was in the paper, we'd be like, gee, what the actual fuck? If this happened like in the last week, we'd be like, there's not any comedy here.
This could 100% be a reality show.
That doesn't mean it's okay. That is not our metric for acceptability anymore.
Disagree.
No. That's fine. TLC, 2 boys dying. Thursdays after, what the fuck, she's fat.
Can't you see
Followed by xenophobic wives. On an all-new I Ate My House.
Can't you see a reality show in which 5 families compete for citizenship? And
Dave,
and if
it's too
and
real,
if-
stop.
And if they lose, they go, I'm sorry, Gonzalez family. Pack your suitcase. You're going back to Mexico. And then one family, 100% going to happen.
Welcome to citizenship. You've beaten all the others, and you've done an incredible job. You are not bad hombres. You're good hombres. Even the lady hombre, there's a term for it, but I can't remember what it is right now. On an all-new The White House.
So at a store in Toledo,
Followed by an all-new Comedy's Back. Yeah, we finally brought it back, man. It's back for real this time. I'm 80% ketamine. Yeah.
in Cheyenne, Sam Bass ate a bunch of alfalfa, then foundered and died.
Wait, who did?
Sam Bass, the main horse, the horse from the start of the story, who chased the wolf.
Yeah, so
Sam's
we're
dead.
down 1, and we're only allowed 1 replacement
Yeah.
horse?
No,
Total.
each
is allowed 1.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
It's a shame the other one sleeps like it's dead every night. It's probably very confusing and upsetting
so
for
they're-
these children.
Well, they're very upset about Sam Bass because that's their dad's horse, and but they bought a new horse and they named
Fuck your
him.
dad. At this point, I'd be like, good, fuck dad's horse.
They named the new horse Big Black.
Move on.
That slowed them down a lot, so they're off pace. In Laramie, they were shopping for groceries. Quote, the grocer told us that a whole family had been murdered by a man with an axe.
How's your day? How old are you boys? Should you be shopping in here? Oh, a whole family was killed by an axe guy a few days ago. Just the Twizzlers and milk?
They had to cross the Rocky Mountains.
What the fuck? Driving through it is a hell.
Yes. Today, it's bad.
Today it's bad. Back
Yeah.
then they're like, well, goodbye forever, brother.
They were delayed by 3 days by rain, so they're really getting behind. They crossed the.
They're really getting behind.
They crossed the Great Salt Lake Desert.
They're alone. Oh, you've lulled us into accepting this, but this, out of context, is just a death march.
The weight of the horses would crack the salt crust, and there was mud underneath.
Atreyu!
Cannot believe the trauma bonding that's happening right now. And everyone under 30 is like,
There were also disgusting smelling mud holes that they avoided. They followed a wagon trail and drank less of their water while crossing the desert.
children?
It was so hot that Temp fell asleep on the horse as he walked and rode for miles, not falling.
These kids are so, like, a doctor at some point needs to be inspecting them. The damage going on right now.
It's great.
Incalculable.
They rode into the night and estimated they had traveled 110 miles that day.
So they're making up time for $10,000.
That's right.
And their children.
Yeah. When they woke in the morning, the horses were gone. Bud had forgotten to tie their legs together so they wouldn't run off.
I mean, everything's bad, Dave. Tie their legs together. I mean, the horses are like, fuck this. No, we're out. All right, well, they could get one replacement at this point.
Well, this is when they realized they could. No, they're in the middle of the desert. There's no horses.
Sorry, I'm very used to them making it work.
Well, there's nothing around. They're out in the middle of the desert.
So this is where the boys die and the humor stops?
Well, this is when they first realized they could actually die on the trip because it's a hot desert.
Yep.
And they have no way to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's how I felt every moment of this.
And they're almost out of food and water.
Yeah, no, they are children. Yeah, you remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're children.
So they searched for the horses for a day, and they didn't find them. And they drank the last of their water. And the next day, they searched again.
This is a story of death.
And in the afternoon, Temp became so exhausted, he just came back to camp and laid down.
He's gonna blow his carburetor out if he's not careful. That is.
The third morning, Temp couldn't move.
I think I'm gonna have to eat Temp.
And Bud checked on him, but Temp could only stare.
Well, that's bad.
And then
No. A horse?
Bud went back out,
No.
and near the end of the day, he came back riding Wiley Haynes. Not the horse, the deputy. No. The fuck is going
Got a
on?
knife on his throat.
Okay, Temp. Chill out, Temp. Now relax, okay? Shut up!
No, so he comes back on the horse. He found the horse. And then they ride double, and they come to a hill, and on the other side of the hill is the town of Kelton. And that's where they find Big Black, who had ridden in way ahead of them to get...
I knew I forgot
He
something.
was just like, yeah, no, I'm going to be over there. You
Hey, you should come here. They have a lot more than the desert. That was the worst place for us to go. I don't think I believe in you.
So there they buy canned food, and they take off again.
Just the oysters? You know, a guy murdered a bunch of people with a sword last night. Just the taffy, oysters, and chocolate milk? We have 2 locations.
At one point, some men on a train offered to give them a ride
No.
and not tell anyone, but they said they couldn't do it because they'd know. themselves.
Wow, that is principled for, yeah.
Well, their dad raised them right.
No, he didn't. He didn't raise them at all. Did not even raise them.
But there's no way they're going to make it in time now. In Reno, they meet some girls who are their age, and they say they're going over the Sierra Nevadas.
Who are girls who are their age? So 10-year-olds?
Well, they are girls, like literally girls.
Yeah, I know.
They're probably skipping rope or whatever, as, kids will
Yeah,
do.
and he's just like,
You girls want to get fucking crazy? You ever done heroin on a horse's back?
And they tell the girls where they're going, and the girls tell them how Donner Pass got its name.
how about this? Could someone read them a fucking story? These are children. Someone do Snow White?
Oh, that way? Well, that's the way where the people ate the other people they were related to. See ya.
So now they're worried about a snowstorm going over.
That's so funny to hear a story about cannibalism and be like, yeah, it could snow.
And it's the exact same time of year. The Donner Party.
Well, cannibalism is also seasonal. Let me walk you through the 5-day. Here's what we have. Monday, Tuesday looking great. Wednesday, Thursday, bit of a cold front. This weekend, it looks like there might be some cannibalism. So if you're going to go out and get some stuff, favor the earlier part of the week. We're looking for a little bit more cannibalism Monday next week. Should clear up Tuesday, Wednesday. And next weekend, we should have a real clear, crispy Memorial Day for everybody. More later. And that's from the Donner Doppel. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's all right. And so they went, and snow hit, and they ate each other. No, there was no snow. It was totally uneventful.
Be so great. Ate
no
each
big
other
deal.
is the best way too.
And that was it.
One didn't eat the other. No, they choose to eat each other.
At the same time.
They both went foot first.
So they head over the mountains. They arrive in Oakland. They take a ferry to San Francisco. Huge crowd waiting, as is Jack.
You fucking losers.
He congratulated them, but they said they weren't done. And they rode through Golden Gate Park all the way to the ocean, as they were supposed to. And Bud rode Big Black into the waves.
Never anybody point braked?
Yeah.
He's point broken.
And then Temp did the same, and he rode Wiley into the waves. A little too far. And Wiley got into the undertow, and he was trying to kick, but he's a horse, trying to get his footing, and then he went down, and Temp thought they were going to die. But he managed to stay on the saddle, and somehow Wiley managed to right himself and struggle back to the beach. And then his
You're
car
only clapping because it just got so normalized. Think of what just happened. You're now clapping because a 6-year-old didn't drown his horse in the ocean. And you're like, a happy ending's important. No! Is it ever? No!
It's very happy. It's a happy ending. A lot of people are nodding with me. It was a very happy ending.
People are nodding.
Now, they're not getting the
Seahorse.
prize. They're not getting the prize money, but you know what? They fucking did it. They did it. So does the prize money
There's a guy
matter?
over there who just goes, yeah. Yeah, they did do it.
In 1913, a motorcycle company paid them to ride from Oklahoma to New York City. Well, at that point, Temp is 9.
I can't. I literally. I can't. I can't anymore. What is next?
I'm sad to report that was the last of their trips.
Oh, thank God. Stop. What? Yes. Oh my God.
They would grow up, and Jack became an oilman and did very well. Bud grew up and became a lawyer, and then a district attorney, and then a judge. And he died in 1979.
79.
Temp worked in the oil business and died in 1986.
What? Wait, how old are they? They were older.
Yeah, but 86.
Yeah, 86 blew her mind. She was like,
She
what?
blew her mind. Yeah, 86.
I was under the impression they were immortal beings. Temp wasn't allowed to die.
Yeah.
That is fucking bonkers.
What do you mean?
Everything, that's...
It's a couple of kids. They went out and did a thing. It's a big deal.
I cannot honestly process what has just taken place.
Some kids went on a trip.
Shut the fuck up. What are the resources? C.S. Lewis.
Well, one is Alda Abernathy, Bud and Me, The True Adventures of the Abernathy Boys, and then budandme.com and Haggerty.com, Abernathy Boys became a legend.
Holy shit. Shocking. Shocking. What are you, when we put this out, is the title going to be The Worst Father of All Time?
No, my dad is not. This isn't about my dad. This is about another dad. Why would I all of a sudden put the title of my dad on this story? This is Rat Dad.
This is one of those things where it's just like it should, and I'm not trying to be rude or like shitty or dark, but this should have never been an episode. This literally should have been the story about a dad getting arrested for parental malpractice and who just let his kids fucking die. I mean, the fact that they made it is unfucking believable.
It's crazy to do.
And now kids can't eat peanuts.
It's crazy to do a podcast with someone who hates adventure. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't enjoy the spirit of adventure. The American spirit. He doesn't enjoy the American spirit.
Why is this?
Oh, don't blow a carburetor. Just calm down.
Why has this not been a movie? Has this ever been turned into anything?
Well, because it's fucking insane.
Exactly. This should be, like, Hulu should pick this up right away. Hilarious.
True, it should be.
I mean, that story is absolutely fucking crazy. The reason why it shouldn't be a story is, they shouldn't turn it into anything, because if I saw this as a kid, I would have absolutely left home.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely left home.
Yeah.
Smoking heaters just on a dirt bike. Like, people are like, where are you from? Be like, Brandy, Wisconsin. Like, what's on your chin? I'm growing a goat.
Yeah.
The fact that they died from being old. It had to be like, they were chasing that dragon forever, too.
Yeah, it probably never went away.
No, one of them was a fucking lawyer.
Road? Yeah.
One of them was a lawyer, like, looking out the window, and they're like, did you hear me about the details of the night in question? He's like, sorry, I was just thinking about the time we couldn't take the elephant all the way to D.C. Sorry, what? Nothing. My brother and I, when we were 6 and 9, tried to ride an elephant and a donkey from New York all the way. I can still hear Tiny now. Where was your dad? My what? Oh, I don't have one of those. Never happened.
They love their dad.
Yep, I'm sure they did. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Dollop fans. I know you love the Dollop. You love listening to the Dollop. Do you want to watch the Dollop? You're like, Gareth, what are you talking about? By the way, it's not Gary, it's Gareth. Well,
We have partnered with Lakeside Animation, and we are starting to animate some of our episodes. So if you want to go watch a 5-parter animation, which is actually like a 22-minute episode or 30-minute episode, I can't remember, of The Rube, you can go to Lakeside Animation on YouTube and watch a really awesome animation of The Rube. It really genuinely kicks ass, and we're very proud of it. And the more you share it, the more you give it to people, the more you follow Lakeside, all that stuff, the better chance we have of making a lot more of them. We're already making a second one, so go there and watch The Rube.
What's up, winners? My name is Jeremy Elder.
This is Hunter Sailing.
And I'm Corey Peter Lane. You are listening to the Business Casual Podcast.
It's the Business Casual Show. That's how we decided the name.
It's a new idea that I have.
Every week, each one of us will bring a brand new segment to the podcast, whether that be a game, whether that be trivia, a character, a deep dive, or whatever else we want to bring to the table.
And it's fun. We promise it's fun.
Did somebody say liberal Joe Rogan?
I didn't.
You can listen to the Business Casual Show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Also, we're on YouTube. Ever heard of it?
Tariffs have been increased for white men with podcasting equipment, and we are willing to pay.
We are releasing this show every Monday, produced by ATC All Things Comedy.